Hey, good evening all. I'm Srinath from Outpost, and I manage the enterprise sales out here. I'm based out of Hyderabad. So what I would love to do now is walk you through or give a very quick introduction about who we are and what we do and what problems do we solve for our customers. And then we can jump into a very quick demonstration of our product. Now, we are Outpost. We are a US-based cybersecurity company. We have a portfolio of offerings or a suite of offerings in terms of email security to certified email delivery to e-signature platform and also document rights management platform, which is called as RDocs. Right. So I'll walk you through each one of them as we proceed further. Right. So we are handcrafted in California, but having said that, we have offices spread across multiple geographies. In India, we operate from Hyderabad. That's where our entire research and development team is also based out of. We are more than 100 people. Many of the innovations, feature enhancements, or the product management happens here from India. That's one of the best sides of the entire organization. Now, having said that, we are not a new company. Uh, we are a very stable and very old company. We have been in business for more than 20 years, and we have seen how the trend changes in terms of email security or in terms of requirements that keeps coming in or the newer hacks that the cyber criminals keep doing. So we are always innovative, and we've always been in the front to ensure that we develop our innovative products and offer it to our customers, right? That's where we call ourselves to be leaders in innovation, champions of service. We're all here for you. Now, that's a very broad list of our customers. Having said that, we have thousands of customers, but we cannot accommodate it into this particular slide. But if you see the kind of diversity that we have built over a period of time, large entities, Fortune 500, they rely on our services, and they've been associated with us for more than 2 decades now, starting from oil and gas to insurance to telecommunications to technology, banking, Tata Communications for that matter has been with us for quite some time. Uh, Consumer products, heavy equipment leasing, manufacturing, healthcare, pharma, United Nations, and the federal governments all have been our customers for quite some time. Right. So as I was quoting, we are innovators because we keep innovating our solutions in terms of the market or the requirement which keeps arising from our customers, existing customers. We started off our business with registered email service, wherein this is a part of our mail that I would be introducing in a bit, which enables you to send out an email and get back an evidentiary proof of email record. It's currently being used across the globe. That's our patented technology. You see Shell, BT, or Allianz, they use this service to send across critical informations to their customers and have an evidentiary proof or a legally binding receipt with them, so that they have the upper hand in the law of court in case of a dispute which might arise or which will arise in the future. And then looking at the market trends, we innovated the e-signature platform. Let me also quote that we are the original inventors of the e-signature platform in the market. We started off this way back. After us came in many of the competitors that you know now, all right, or which you are aware of. But we are the original innovators of the e-signature platform. Few of the customers who've been using across the globe, Coca-Cola for that matter, they have been using it to streamline their distribution processes. Young Heinrich, which is a German-based company, they have been using it across 90 odd countries. McKinsey. And then we also, entered into the email security platform with our RMail product. Currently, this is one of the hottest product, or I would say hottest selling product also, both in terms of features, both in terms of protection. It comprehensively helps your inbound email perimeter and outbound email perimeter secured. Companies who already have deployed email security can take this as an additional layer of advantage or additional layer of email security. Companies who do not have any email security in place, they can use this for their email protection. And now, for those people who only want an outbound, we do provide an outbound, which is again over and above offering that we offer. All right, and then you can use it in many forms, either as an app, as a gateway, as a integration, that we can talk a bit, right, in a bit. And then looking at the market trends, we also developed a product called as RDocs, which enables you to send a document and kill it after it has been sent out. The last one that I'm talking about. RDocs is a document rights management platform. In today's growing needs of security or data protection, document security is also an important aspect that you need to focus within your organization. And you can send a document and control it even after it has been downloaded at your recipient's end. So that's what the RDocs does for you. All right, so there's an interesting poll which has been conducted by International Data Corporation (IDC). For the folks who do not know IDC, they're similar to your Forrester and Gartner. All right, so they have went ahead and asked few professionals, if at all you're looking about email security as a function, what do you want to learn more about? All right, so there was a mixed reaction and a mixed answers which came in. You see 40% of the people onto the left side, the blue quadrant that you can see there, the dark blue one, wire fraud protection is what people were interested in. And then there are about 22% who spoke about, yes, we are interested to learn about certified proof of email delivery. 31.8% spoke about elegantly easy email encryption. 6.8 of them did speak about proof of privacy compliance, right? So we picked up, the wire fraud protection as one of the key aspects because this is one of the growing threat, most common. And everywhere when you talk to anyone, most of them are worried about losing money or ransomwares or money getting lost in transition or between their vendors or suppliers. All right, so that's where the IDC has done this particular research, wire fraud protection. Now the reason why I'm talking to you about the wire fraud protection is precisely we as an innovator company or innovation, we believe in innovation, right? We at Rmail have come up with many of such features which can prevent humans from falling prey to those BC scams and email account compromises or imposter domain loots, while it also protects you from targeted preemption, which we will talk it in a bit, right? All of this can lead the organizations, both the sending and the receiving organizations, uh, into losing heavy funds of money or heavy money for that matter, right? How we will demonstrate and talk. Right. So that's where welcome to Rmail, right? Rmail is an email security platform wherein it has got the comprehensive coverage for your email perimeter, security perimeter, wherein it's very elegant and simple to use. In terms of email privacy and compliance, data leaks, human error prevention, also for that matter, you can thwart or restrict cyber criminal payment lures where people tend to send across emails with malicious content or imposter domains and try extracting money from the organizations. All right. So I'm going to talk about, very briefly about the latest data leak vectors, which are currently affecting many of the organizations and how our mail is protecting or fixing those gaps which are not covered by the existing email security service. All right. So if you see the malware attacks, right, in most of the organization, see the path that you are currently seeing here, the internet path sender, internet path, and the recipient mailbox and the recipient views. This is a typical internet path of an email, wherein you send out an email, the email comes into your inbound, right? Your probably you would have already deployed some sort of an inbound email security in place, or if you are on O365, you would have had the Defender plan or some default email security which is already put across. So most of the organizations run to take care of their inbound email security, believing that if they take care of their email security, the threat of getting bad emails or they falling prey to these sort of attacks might lessen or lower. All right. So that's where if you see a typical internet path in any organization has got first with protecting their inbound perimeter, wherein any of the other vendors which are currently available in the market, they are taking care of it. Who is protecting you with your malware, IP reputation, 7 days young header mismatch. It 80% to 70% of your inbound email security is taken care of, wherein they're stopping those malicious emails at the gateway itself, and then they are filtering it out. All right. Now, having said that, we've been hearing a lot about emails which are still getting penetrated and coming into the recipient's inbox. Now, what do you do about those? Although you have deployed best of the best email security in place, there are still those emails which are still penetrating and affecting your business processes by getting straight away delivered into the recipient's inbox. Right now, how do you counter that? Right? That's where the RMail comes into play. All right. So the first one we are talking about inbound security. So you already have some sort of inbound email security in place. What is not covered is in the inbox recommendation. The second thing that I'm talking about, which is about the sender, right? Where our mail adds value is that if an email comes in and your email security system has passed it and flagged it as a normal email and it has passed it into your recipient's inbox, your recipient or I mean your user rather to say is not in a position to bifurcate and differentiate whether it is the right email or a bad email, right? So that's where the RMail comes into picture. RMail has got specialized features which is embedded within the application, wherein it has the ability to detect whether the email to which the sender is going to reply or forward is the right email or not. How? That is through few of the algorithms that we run through, and then we match whether the domains to which you're replying is the right domain that you have replied in the past or not. So it kind of auto adapts to the user's ability of sending the emails, and then it also does the domain detection in terms of what is the age of the domain, and then it also enables the senders to get an alert when they are replying to a phishing or a whaling attack. All right, so that's we call it as in the inbox recommendations or data leak prevention within the inbox, which is not covered in most of the email security services, right? And then you would have deployed your screen block, which is nothing but a DLP, all right, which is the data leak prevention. You would have had your data leak prevention in place, but yet your data is not yet secure until you encrypt those, because man in the middle threats are predominant and very common these days, right? People can simply siphon off your email, which is en route. That's where our email security comes into place. Our email security is very dynamic and enables you to send out an email with AES 256 encryption so that it is secure and cannot be broken through any of the cyber criminals in between. And then we have another ability. Say for an instance, you have a Word format that you are or a PDF that you would want to send out, and you would want to control the document after it is sent out. So you can actually use our RDocs platform to convert that particular PDF into a rights protected document and send it out to your recipient. So when you have attached the email in your normal email and you have sent out this email, the attachment gets converted into a rights protected document so that you have the fullest control of the document after even it is sent out. All right. Now, most importantly, what is very unique or so unique about the R post or the R mail is the eavesdropping alert. This is the last section that I'm talking about, right? You see a guy sitting with a hood there, holding a laptop, right? Yeah, that's the guy. Right now, what exactly is this doing? Well, this is interesting story that I might want to talk about. I'll pick up any of you out here. I see Xerxes, so let me take the name Xerxes out here, right? So say I'm the sending organization and I deal with typical finance related invoices, wherein my job is to send across an invoice today to Xerxes. All right. So Xerxes, honors the payment by replying back to me saying that, hey, I've received the invoice and will be initiating this amount, say whatever is the amount, 50 lakhs, 25 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 2 lakhs, whatever it is, right? So that's a usual process, right? So I keep sending emails to Xerxes. Xerxes keeps, replying back, and he keeps honoring the payment. He's from probably the I'm the supplier and he's the buyer, and he buys my goods or services and then he keeps paying back to me. That's the cyclic process. Right. So we've been dealing with each other, say, for example, say 5 years, 10 years, 1 year, whatever it is. Now, apparently, one fine day, Xerxes' email is eavesdrop on. Now, what is an eavesdropping? Now, this remember, guys, this is the newest alert or a threat, I would say, or a leak vector, which is in vogue, wherein it's very easy these days to get a hang of, the email IDs and passwords. There are multiple ways that you can hack through. That's a different topic, which we can discuss at a later stage. But yes, let's imagine that Xerxes' email has been eavesdrop on. So what has the cyber criminal done? The cyber criminal has gone ahead and got access to Xerxes' email ID. Now, Srinath is sending across emails to Xerxes with an invoice attached in it. Xerxes keeps opening it at his respective location, say Mumbai, but simultaneously, the same email of Xerxes is also getting opened, say, in Africa. All right. Um, in a normal scenario, neither would I know, neither would Xerxes know, right? That his emails are getting opened somewhere else. Now, what is the threat out here? Obviously, there's a huge threat because the invoices that I'm sending across, I'm encrypting it. I'm taking the utmost care at my end. I'm sending it across to Xerxes. Now, apparently, Xerxes, I do not know what sort of email security Xerxes has got at his end, right? Now, he could not be using a email security. He could be using a email security, but apparently, end of the day, his email is eavesdrop on. So the eavesdropper who is sitting in somewhere in the corner of Africa is opening his email, and then he's going through the attachments, all of it, that what typically Xerxes does, right? Now, one fine day, the cyber criminal will write a routing rule within Xerxes inbox because he's got full access to Xerxes mail. Remember that, right? So he writes a routing rule wherein any email which comes from the actual sender, that means Srinath, to Xerxes will get routed automatically to junk email or deleted folder, right? Now, this could be after a month of monitoring or 2 months of monitoring Xerxes mailbox. So this is the next step. The next step that the cyber criminal would do is cyber criminal will create a lookalike domain like the sending company, like our post labs with an extra S or L, and then he'll send a fake invoice to Xerxes. Now, the reason why he has taken 2 months is to understand the pattern of emails that Srinath keeps sending it across to Xerxes, right? He wants to ensure that if he's going to hit it, he's going to hit it for sure, and then he wants the money out. So he's spending time and effort, similar to what we do in the corporate world, right? To ensure that the productivity is up to the mark. All right, and then the contents of the email body, the attachments, the content within the email or the attachments remains exactly strikingly similar to what Srinath is sending to Xerxes, except for the account number. All right, the account number would be the cyber criminal's account number, some offshore account number, and then the email goes to Xerxes. Xerxes would think it's a normal email which has come from Srinath, right? Now, remember, humans tend to do mistakes. There is one of the interesting study which was done by Fortinet, if I'm not remember, that 94% of the email leaks happens because of human error. That's where what we are trying to do is we're trying to plug that particular gap. All right, that's where this eavesdropping comes into picture. Now, the money is gone. Xerxes has paid the money to the wrong account number. The money is lost. I will come back to Xerxes and ask, hey, Xerxes, we had sent out invoice 10 days back, and apparently we have not seen the money coming into our bank account. What could be the reason? You would say, hey, you know what? I have transferred the money, and these are the transaction details. Well, upon auditing, see, we realized that the my customer has lost money, I have lost money, the money which was supposed to come to me has literally got lost, right? Now, this is a very common scenario which is been happening. It could happen either ways as well, right? As a customer, someone can spoof you and then they can send out an email to you also, all right? You as an organization, this could happen the other way also, right? So where does RBL fit in here? That's where we're talking about the active threat hunting at the bottom, right? So when you send out an email via rmail, all right, what rmail does is that it returns back an active tracker intelligence to your inbox. Right, there's a separate folder which gets created within your inbox, and it comes there and sits. which enables you to identify the anomalous pattern of the email getting opened. So this is what I was talking about, right? So what rmail does is that rmail returns back an active tracker alert back to the inbox of the sender, right? Now, what does this actually capture, right? I'll show you real time. This is more of a US based, but let me show an India based scenario which happened with me. This is the one, right? This is quite interesting. You see this, I had sent out an email to my colleague with some pricing related quotation, which was opened in Hyderabad. Now, I know that my colleague is based out of Hyderabad, and I know that, he uses a certain network and he has opened it from this certain network. All right. Exactly after a few moments, roughly about an hour later, the same email has got opened in Shanghai. Now, what could be the scenario? Similar to what I have given an example of Xerxes, right? Imagine this is Xerxes to whom I had sent out an email. Xerxes has opened this email in Hyderabad, but exactly after an hour, it has opened in Shanghai. Now, this is a little sketchy. So I might go back to Xerxes and ask, hey, I see that the email that I have sent out to you has opened in Hyderabad exactly after an hour. On the same date, you see, it is open in Shanghai. Now, nowhere on the earth that Xerxes can board a flight and reach Shanghai in 1 hour's time. Even for boarding, I think you'll have to be for international 3 hours before. And then you have your immigrations and visa checks and all that stuff. And by the time you probably reach Shanghai, it is late night or probably the next day. So roughly about 6, 7 hours for you to reach there. I don't know if someone uses a supersonic jet to reach there though, but the whole point out here is this is an alert. This is a preemption of a crime which is potentially going to happen in the future, which Armail has detected it and alerted to the sender that, hey, look, the email that you sent out has got opened in multiple geographies. That's an anomalous pattern, which enables me as a sending organization to go back to my recipient and tell my recipient that looks like the email that I had sent out is getting leaked out. So you might want to go check with your admin and do the corrective measure. Now, before a potential steal happens, which could be after a month, you have ensured that you're pinching it right now at the moment so that you're not falling prey to a ransomware or a wire fraud, which could potentially translate loss of money in, say, a month or so. All right. That's how this works out to be, right? So it's simple. All you need to do is have an rmail within your gateway, or probably as an app within your email client. Whenever you don't have to do anything. You'll have to just keep sending emails via rmail, and then these alerts keep coming back either to the sender, or you can configure it in such a way that it goes to the admin. So the admin will have an aggregate report where the admin can know that how many emails are getting opened in the green zone, how many in the yellow zone, how many in the red zone, and you can also configure which all countries. Now, I have taken an example here as Shanghai because we have, just for demonstration, we have flagged few countries like Africa, China, and all that as a red zone. But however, if you're dealing with customers in China, keep it as a green zone. If you feel that, say, someone from so the Eastern Europe, like the Estonia, Latvia, and those countries, is something that you feel that there's a lot of threat from those countries, or Russian centric devices, you might want to flag it as red. All right. So that's how this protects to be. So overall, what is in for organizations, or what is in for you, right, is Armail is just not helping you with your your typical requirements, which has already been taken care of. It is helping you with the in the inbox recommendations, wherein we also have the ability to read through the domain age, fetch the domain age from the domain directory, and get you the analytics whether the email to which you're replying is safe or not. And then it also helps with dynamic encryption, best of the class encryption, so that your emails are automatically encrypted and reaches the recipient's inbox, which is again encrypted at rest as well. And you have different ways to send the password, deliver the password to the recipient. And most importantly, what is uh, so unique that you need to have the Armin, as one of the key things in your email security fabric is the eavesdropping alert that I'm talking about, right? While all of this sounds good, there is one more key thing which most of the organizations today are facing, right? See, this is an actual email which has been sent out, which has our post .com, right? But you see, there's an additional domain which got added and was sent back to the accounts or the admin team within our company, right? So someone has spoofed or bought a domain which is strikingly similar to our domain. You see, this is zkhan at ourpost.com. And when you reply back, it is getting routed to ourposts.com. Now, this is a very common class of phishing attack called as a whaling attack, right? Case, what happens, you would receive an email from a certain email id. When you're replying it, it gets routed to some other email id. Now, how can that be detected? Yes, our mail can help you detect this particular anomaly, because we have something called as the domain age detector, which is a part of our human error prevention in DLP. We call that as lookalike domain alert. Wherever there's a id risk or a domain age risk in terms of less than 365 days, our system will flag it as unsafe, so that you can go back to your admin and tell them that, I have received an email of this sort. You might want to block it, on the gateway level, or whatever is the standard procedure of blocking domains, right? And then it it alerts the sender before they send out an email. Now remember, we are talking about human error, right? Humans are prone to do errors. That's where that 94% came into picture. 94% is a huge amount for that matter, right? So what happens is that you would receive an email, you would blindly go ahead and reply and forward it, right? That's where we are trying to alert the senders, stating that it looks like you do not normally send sensitive information to these addressed recipients. Please double check the recipient addresses to ensure your sensitive information is going to your intended recipients. That's where, in milliseconds, you get to see the domain age, and then you simply send it across. All right. That is how the anomaly is detected, and then you're safe. Now, while I speak all of this, in reality, it's very much simple, right? If I may have to send across an email, so imagine I'm an employee of a finance company, all right, or a banking company, and today I have a sensitive correspondence that I would want to send across. How do I do it from my Outlook? I'll simply go ahead, type in the email ID to whom I would want to send it across. I would put in my manager into CC. All right, I'll just put myself here. All right, I'll put in an invoice if I have to send an invoice, and then I'll type in, "Hi, sir. Please find the attached invoice." All right, and then I'll go ahead and attach an invoice as well, right? Browse wherever I have saved my documents, testing invoice. And what would I do next? I would click on send. You see that something has popped up my way, and it's alerted me to recheck the email that I'm sending. And it is asking me to encrypt, or showing me a couple of options here to basically send it via either our mail's transmission encryption, or send it as a regular email, or send using a different feature. Now, what exactly are we talking here? This is what we are talking about, a human error prevention kit, right? This particular feature is called as our mail recommends, wherein this particular feature, it automatically sensitizes users to the need to treat certain emails with special care, because it has known that I'm sending an invoice, and the sender has missed or forgotten to choose an encryption, because it's an invoice and it's got sensitive correspondence in it, right? That's where the eavesdroppers are looking at it. So rather you would encrypt and send it rather than sending it as a normal email. That's the whole logic. So this is the true DLP in the desktop, right? So there is no server settings or no routing needed. It's just that the sender, it's like sending a normal email. It's a peace of mind for both the ITs or the admins for that matter. It's a pure compliance bliss for that matter, right? Now, if I'm okay with it, I can send okay. So all we do is, when you have an Rmail app installed within my Outlook, instead of doing a normal send, I can click on send registered button. It pops up and shows me a couple of options that I can choose and send it. Now, remember, depending on the sort of email that I'm sending and the kind of sensitivity, I can pick and choose any of these options. Like if I want to track this particular email and get back an evidentiary proof of email record, I can choose the track and prove option. To encrypt my email, I can choose between any of the two experiences, either the transmission or the message level encryption. Right? Transmission will help the email auto decrypt at the receiver so that the receiver does not have to click on any passcodes or retrieval links. So it's dynamic encryption. All right. Message level, you're forcing an email to go with a message. There are different, sorry, with a password. There are different ways that you can push this encrypted email with passwords or without a password, depending on how you would want to send it. We also have a lighter version of our e-signature platform, RSign, embedded within this particular interface for your productivity requirements, wherein you can choose this option to send a document and get it signed among multiple people as well, right? You can also share up to 1 GB of data. Traditionally, if you've seen the permissible limit in O365 is about 10 MB or 25 MB as a max as an attachment. But if you're dealing with huge project related data, which might be close to 1 GB, right? You can choose this file share option, go here, add multiple files, and simply send it across, right? It goes through a secure link, and the recipient can download it. And after a certain time frame, the documents can be purged, from that particular link. So you have the option to also purge it. And then there are other protective features which we'll not talk about it at this moment. One of the most important things that I would want to also make a note is, say for example, you want to redact a certain text from an email, right? Today, I do not know if any there are any vendors in the market who have this capability. There might be a couple of them, but we have a very unique way of redacting a text within an email body. Say for example, I want to redact this particular text from here till here. After it is sent out, how do I do it? All I need to do is use the caret symbols at the starting of this text and at the end of the text where I would want to redact. All right. And then choose the RMail option. Like in this case, I'm choosing track and prove. I'm encrypting this and I'm simply going ahead and sending across this email. Right. So I was talking about anti-whaling technology, right? Lookalike domain detector and reply hijack. This is the feature which is embedded out here at the bottom. All right, reply hijack, which enables you to detect the anomaly between an email which comes in and when you're replying, it gets routed to someone else. So once you're done, simply say send. This is in action. This is what I was talking about in my slide, wherein I highlighted about the domain age detector, the risk of replying to lookalike domains, right? So you would have received an email from a lookalike domain from your customer or probably from your own company. Like say if you're CEO, and then your CEO's email could be yourcompanydomain.com, the cyber criminal would have bought a strikingly similar domain, and they would send across an email like your CEO. Now your accounts team might think that this is a genuine email, and then they might end up transferring money. Most common thing that I've seen is that an employee from the same company receives an email from a fake CEO, and it says that I'm traveling. I have lost my wallet. I can't respond to your calls. So please transfer or click on this particular link and purchase the gift card. Right. This is the most common email text that I have seen in most of the cases when I was doing a demo or trying to understand the pain areas of our customer, right? But what happens when when you receive an email of that sort and when you are replying, if you are using our mail, this is the feature which pops up or blocks your way, right? Now, what does it do? It first helps you eyeball verify the email ID to which you are sending across, right? And then it also fetches the domain age quickly from the domain directory and then gets you the nodes, right? It says, okay, this is safe. Now, remember, this is a preemption. This is a mechanism for the senders to get trained by themselves before they send out. Because when I talk about training, when I spoke to many of the organizations out there, or IT teams, or the CISOs, or the infosec teams, right? They spend lots of time and effort, money, doing a lot of security awareness trainings, but yet the margin of safety is very low, or the caution that they take is very low, right? That's where they wanted, or most of the companies wanted, a mechanism where when an email is being sent out, a mechanism which can block their way and tell them that, hey, look, the email that you're sending seems to be a little sketchy, so don't reply, something of that sort. Now, every time an IT admin cannot be beside an employee, right? It's only an employee who needs to take a call, right? So that's where this comes into picture, right? The feature that I just showed you a bit before, which was the RMail recommends, and then the the domain age detector or lookalike domain detector. All right. So this basically is a very good feature, is a must to have when you have departments who are dealing with sensitive correspondences or teams who are dealing with sensitive emails and attachments. I would recommend that you need to have this so that this gives you the anomalies and gets you the email ID so that you can eyeball verify, check the domain age, and then say, okay. Another interesting thing, let me also highlight here, is when I was doing a demo to one of the prospective companies some time back, they did specify that it's easy to send across an email, a spoofed email from a Gmail. So you see, I created an email from Gmail as well, right? In most of the cases, if you receive an email from a Gmail, the name could be the same except for the domain, right? It looks exactly like any of your senior management. You would receive the email until you reply, and then probably later you might realize that it has come from Gmail. This particular feature also helps you pop up the entire email ID. So say srina.rpost@rpostlabs.com is the email ID to which I usually reply, right? But apparently it has come from Gmail. That means it's a spoofed email. So you will get alerted. That's one of the key advantages of having this feature embedded within your email client. Now, once you're satisfied to send across this email, it's simply send across. You just verify and send it. So in a real-time action, it's very simple. It's very elegant to use this particular application. Now, let me also tell you something that the Rmail application or the email security product that I'm talking about comes in different forms or different varieties for the organizations or depending on the requirement that you have. So this is a website, and if you go to our app section, all right, you will see that we have different applications built for different clients. Say if any of your organization is on um, Outlook 365, you will have a similar application like what I have here, right? All you have to do is go here, go to the website, go to the application, click on this particular feature, say next, 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 and it will gracefully go and download in your email client. There is no special deployments, changing of MX records, nothing of that sort, right? It's a simple usage in terms of use. Then for those folks who use the outlook.com, we have a add-in. All you have to do is go and install the add-in. For Mac users, we have an app. For those guys who are on Google Workspace, we have the extension given here. For those organizations who do not want to have a third-party application within their email client, we have the Rmail Outlook. For those guys who would want this to be on their desktop, we have a desktop application also. For those companies who want everything to be automated. Now, when I say automation, so far I have been clicking on this particular app to send across an email. But imagine a mechanism wherein I mention the email ID and I mention, say, encrypt, and I send this email to my recipient or any of such subject, right? Imagine automatically it will get encrypted at the backend because the Rmail gateway gives you the ability to write the rules at the backend, and depending on the sender, sending organization, subject line, or the attachment, you can have a auto rule set at the backend so that it automatically gets encrypted and you don't have to do anything, or the senders do not have to do anything, right? So we have the Rmail gateway option also. And for those companies who are using business applications like CRM or ERP, where they natively do not have the email security in place, right? For example, banks, right? They send across huge notifications to their customers. Now, how do you encrypt those emails? There has to be some sort of mechanism, right? That's where Rmail's REST APIs comes into picture. All you need to do is do a simple integration, API integration, and then you're sending applications whenever they're sending out an email based on the rule that you have set. The emails get encrypted and automatically goes to your recipient's inbox. All right, your send or your customer's inbox, and you also get back an evidentiary proof of email record. right? So we also have the integration capability. We already have it on the Salesforce. If you are using Salesforce, you would like to buy it, you go to the app exchange, your administrators would know that they can simply go ahead and configure this within their Salesforce, right? So we have done tons of integrations for that matter onto multiple platforms across the globe, right? So that's where I was talking about. The application that I'm talking about today is a comprehensive email security platform, which would which can be used by organizations of different sizes. Could be just two people or three people or less than 10, or could be more than 10,000, or could be 500,000, whatever it is, right? We have applications built and offered accordingly along with certain plans which could be customized based on the need and the requirement that each organization has got. All right. Um, and then let me now shift gears. Right. We were talking about the email sent out. Let us try experiencing how a email would look like from the recipient's inbox, right? So I had sent it out to myself, to my Gmail ID, right? So you see the couple of emails which came in today, right? Let me remove these ones, which are my previous to avoid any confusion. Um, all right, Google Play. Let me delete all of this. There you go. There are two emails that I had sent to myself. One was the invoice and one was encrypt, right? Now, the reason why I'm showing you two of these emails is one, I had sent it through my Rmail app by manually selecting few options. The other one, I did not select any option. I just typed in encrypt and the email got encrypted. So that's the gateway option that I have. All right. So let's check this particular email. So the recipient will open the email and then you see the email has come into me as a registered email with a blue banner on the top, encrypted transmission. The reason why this is coming in is because of this particular feature that I had sent out, because of this particular feature that I opted before I sent track and prove. All right. This is on by default. However, if you don't want your recipients to know that you're using a registered email service, you can send it as an unmarked. So it will come as a normal email. Although it comes as a normal email or you're sending it in a stealth mode, you will still get the registered receipt, or the system will still track the email, but the recipient will not know that you're using a registered email service, right? So this comes to the recipient as a registered email service. Encrypted transmission, for those folks who would want to have a co-branding, can also have your company logo put in out here so that people know that XYZ company is using a certain service to send across, right? And then you see this is the email which says you have received an encrypted email from Srinath. Click here to reply this message encrypted. So this is a secure reply option wherein although your recipient does not have an email encryption in place, you are giving them an ability to reply the email that you sent out in an encrypted form. So upon clicking, your recipient can also send across the email in an encrypted form the way you have sent it out, right? And then you see this is a redacted text. Click to view. Remember, I chose the option of redacting the text within the email body, wherein I chose two caret symbols, and I click on that. Now I will get to see the redacted text, before which I need to verify my email ID. Now, you might be wondering what could be the use case of this. Well, there's a very good use case. Now, remember, um, or if you can relate it to a scenario where in most of the organizations, you keep sending across emails and there's a trail mail which gets accumulated over a period of time, right? You reply, he replies, she replies, and everyone keeps replying onto that particular email. Now, there are few contents within the email body that you do not want it to be exposed, right? But you want it to be as a chain mail, or the email gets too lengthier, right? Or if someone's by mistake forwards it to someone else, right? Now, how do you control it? All you need to do is pick up a trail mail, put those caret symbols at the starting of the text that you would want to redact and the bottom of the text that you would want to redact. In this case, I redacted this particular text, right? And then it transpires into a form of a link. And then you can set up a time frame for this link to be active. In the sense, you can limit it based on the number of views and the times it can be read. Say, for example, in this case, I have limited the views to only 4. So anyone can click on that particular link and view it only for 4 times. And each time they can view it for 30 minutes. However, you can shorten this. All right. So this is a very good feature if you have emails which are keep getting back and forth going to multiple people, and then you would want to redact a certain text within an email body, you can do that. All right. Or if you're sharing some sensitive correspondences within the email body, you would want to restrict it, you can use this particular option. All you need to do is use those caret symbol and choose to send it via any of the rmails feature, and then it will automatically wrap it into this particular link, and the recipient will not have access to it after a certain time frame that you have defined. All right. And then the attachment has come in. All right. So for the recipient, it's a pure bliss because I did not had to click on any passcodes. I did not had to use any external links to retrieve the email, because this is a dynamic encryption. Remember, it has come to me without any passcodes. However, if you wish to push an email with a password, we do have that option also, which is the message level option, which I will send it, and you can see how this works out to be. Right. Let me go ahead and send. I'll choose message level in this case and send it. Right. Verify and send. While this email comes in, let me walk you through the gateway service that we have, right? So this was the email that I chose to send it via the Rmail app. The other email that I have sent it to myself is through gateway. Even this has come to me in a similar form, but in this case, I didn't had to click on any features, or I didn't had to click on any applications to receive it, right? So this has automatically, so my admin has configured at the backend that whenever Srinath uses encrypt as a subject line, the email has to get encrypted automatically along with attachments, if any, right? So it's the admin who will take care of it. There you go. The message level encryption. In this case, I had pushed the email in an encrypted form, irrespective of whatever are the settings at the recipient server, right? In this case, it says registered email encrypted, and there are few rules or instructions how to open a document, and there's a PDF attachment at the bottom of the document. Remember, I attached a Word document, but it has come to me as a PDF. Let us try understanding how this can be decrypted. So this is a encrypted document. There's a passcode which have been sent to me. You see, this is a password which has been sent to me in a separate email. All right. So as a recipient, I need to first, I can download it or click on this, and I will have to decrypt it with the password which is sent to me, which is static, static, and submit it. There you go. You see, gracefully, the original email along with the body of the email and the attachments got embedded in this particular PDF, and it was staying at rest, even encrypted, right? So the attachments are sitting here. Upon clicking this, it gets routed to a secure link where a person can download it, right? So we have both the options. Excuse me. Depending on the client or the compliance requirement you have within your organization, you can choose any of these options to send out an email. One of the key benefits of using this email is obviously if there are a man in the middle threats where there are cyber criminals who are trying to siphon off your email attachments and data en route, you can prevent it from those sort of harmful events, which could hamper eventually, into a data loss. So this could probably help you. Last but not the least, as I was trying to talk to you about, we covered about the eavesdropping alert. Every email transaction that I'm sending across will keep sending me back this active tracker, wherein every time I'm opening an email, it is sending me the tracker, right? So that I know that this email is getting opened in a secured way with a secured person or the right person, and this is not getting leaked out. And then I was talking about the receipts are the evidently proof of the email sent and opened. So in this case, if you've seen, every email which is sent out via our mail will get you back a registered receipt which has got the addresses to whom you have sent, the status, whether it was delivered or it was opened, when was this delivered, when was this opened, and the entire audit trail follows, and this can be further authenticated as well. If you're dealing with disputes and you would want an evidentiary proof of email sent, you can simply take this as an attachment and submit it to the honorable judge as a proof of email sent out. So I'll just stop here. Just wanted to thank each one of you for participating and coming here, for taking out your valuable time.
Thank you once again for being part of this webinar, and here's hoping to see you all for the next one.